What are future methods in Salesforce? A future method in Salesforce is an exclusive way to execute code in the background. It's equivalent to telling Salesforce, "Hey, I need you to do this job, but you don't have to do it right now. Just do it when you can." This helps keep everything functioning smoothly while the background activity is completed. A future method runs asynchronously. Asynchronous processing helps keep the system responsive. So, when do we use asynchronous processing in Salesforce? External callouts, when Salesforce needs to talk to another system on the internet, like getting data from a website or sending information. To an external service, heavy calculations, when Salesforce needs to process a lot of data or perform complex calculations, batch processing. When updating a large number of records, like refreshing data for thousands of accounts or contacts at once. Implementing future methods in Salesforce. Add future annotation tells Salesforce that the method should run asynchronously. The method must be public, static, and return void. This means the method belongs to the class and doesn't return any value. Future methods can only take primitive data types as parameters. Primitive data types include string, integer, boolean, etc. They can also take collections of these primitives, like list of string or set of ID. We use callout equals true with at future annotation to make an external callout. Here's the basic syntax of the future method. Here, we are updating account information, that is account name in Salesforce, by getting data from an external service. Governor limits. You can only have 250,000 future method invocations per 24-hour period or 200 per 24-hour period per user license, whichever is higher. There's a limit to how many future methods can be in the queue at one time. Why we cannot pass sObject in a future method? The sObject might change between the time you call the method and the time it executes. In this case, the future method will get the old sObject values and might overwrite them. To work with sObjects that already exist in the database, pass the sObject ID instead, or collection of IDs. And use the ID to perform a query for the most up-to-date record. Can we monitor the jobs in at future? No, we cannot monitor the jobs in at future as we don't get job ID for future method. Can we call one future method from another future method? No, we cannot call one future method in another future method. List some limitations of future method that were solved by Queuable. We cannot pass sObject. We cannot monitor future. We cannot change order of execution in future, that is, cannot make a chain. Future methods also helps in avoiding mixed DML errors. A mixed DML operation error comes when you try to perform DML operations on setup, account, contact, etc., and non-setup objects, user, profile, etc., in a single transaction. Setup objects are the sObjects that affect the user's access to records in the organization. For example, you can't update an account and a user role in a single transaction. However, if we perform DML operation on non-setup object records asynchronously, execute in future context, we can avoid mixed DML operation error. Can we call a future method from a flow? Yes, but directly it's not possible to call a method in a flow. To call a method in a flow, we need to specify it at invocable, and if we do that, we cannot specify our method as at future. Thus, we can call a method inside a method, and like this first method can be specified as at invocable so that it can be called from a flow. And the inner method can be specified as at future. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe for more such Salesforce related content.